But for China, this situation is far more existential. You see, the Chinese economic system is based on political stability via bribing the population. Basically, anyone who has cash, whether it's a central bank or a mom and pop operation, that cash is forced into certain investment vehicles so that there can be cheap, subsidized cheap capital available for any entity that is capable of employing anyone. The theory is pretty straightforward. China has a history of spinning apart, of the regions going their own way, of rebellions, and since the system has never had a way to transfer power from one generation to another that has really worked, the best way to make sure that everything holds is to make sure that everyone is gainfully employed. And it doesn't have to be a real job. It just has to be something that keeps people doing something for most of the week so that they don't get together in large groups and go on long walks together. It's something the Chinese government is very familiar with because that's exactly how they got their jobs. Anyway, so the capital structure is deliberately tilted towards this sort of robust, artificially cheap capital system. It means that the rate of returns on capital are very low, which means the entire system is kind of creaking along Enron style, but it means everybody's got a job. The thing is if you invest a bottomless supply of someone else's money into an industrial plant, it's A, not going to be particularly efficient, and B, is going to produce a lot of stuff that is not geared towards the local economy, and C, that local economy doesn't have the capital that it would be needed to purchase it anyway. And that's before you consider China's demographic problems. Now that they have more people over age 53 than under 53, simply having consumption at all is kind of hilarious. And so, no shock, we've actually seen consumption go down in the last 6 years. One of the fun things about COVID is it kind of put everything on hiatus for a few years in China because of the lockdowns, and none of the statistics really matched up with what we had before. And it's only in the last 18 months that's far enough in the rearview mirror that we have some idea of what the numbers actually look like in China, and they're all really bad. So along comes Trump and puts in a series of tariffs that basically function as an embargo. 185% was the peak. In that sort of environment, trade between the United States and China basically arrests. And while that is a problem in the United States from a consumer point of view and will absolutely trigger a recession, in China it's the kiss of death, because the United States is China's number one consumer of Chinese exports that they can't consume themselves. Which means that China has to be export-led no matter what else, because it can't consume the stuff itself. Now,